A storm is coming.
Red's not supposed to be green, like faith's not supposed to be seen. The sky's not supposed to touch the ground, and a square's not supposed to be round. The moon's not supposed to touch the sun, and a two is not supposed to be a one. And the heart's not supposed to weigh a ton, and forever's not supposed to be done. Winter's not supposed to come in June, and I am not supposed to have the blues. There are so many things that are not supposed to be, babe, except you and me. There are so many things that I'm not supposed to be. Ooh, baby, yeah, except you and me. Night's not supposed to be long, yeah. No one is supposed to be alone. Understanding is not supposed to be confused, and the wind is not supposed to lose. Like fire's not supposed to freeze, or like joy is not supposed to grieve. Like you are not supposed to leave when I said I'm not supposed to lean. He is not supposed to have your heart. Baby, we are not supposed to be apart. There are so many things that are not supposed to be said. You and me. There are so many things that are not supposed to be. Hey, baby, it seems just like no seasons changing, or this earth with no creation, or a heart with no feelings, or a sickness without a healing. Just like a frozen spring, or a bird with no wings. Just like a song out of key, that's how my life would be. Like the night skies with no stars, or like having no rain for the sea. There are so many things that not supposed to be, not supposed to be, except you and me, baby. Yeah, yeah, baby, yeah, except you and me.
And I stayed into something. So now I'm closer to God. But being closer is hard. The attacks get stronger, become much harder to fight, and they last longer. That's what it's always been. Joy with the pain, dark with the light, sun with the rain. With the right perspective, there can be something to gain.
Yo, can I with you? What?
ACT, did you see this?
Look, if it ain't official DanaJay, Levi for Kelly, or Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it. Just take the ball. Look, you got some weed? Dang, I gotta get some. All right, hurry up. Diesel and them here, everybody here, we waiting on you. All right.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking the pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking the pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking the pandemic.
Say you love it, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spank you. That ass down, gotta make it last down. Start off slow, then I'ma beat it up.
Oh, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing, everybody? Oh, the government response is in. What's going on? What's going on? I'm sitting here looking for a screenshot. Oh, man. I know it exists. I'm looking for a screenshot. If anybody been seeing what's been going on for the last week, primarily last Monday, and the stuff that both been putting up, can somebody email me and holler at me so I can see if you got this one particular screenshot? There's one particular screenshot that I need, that I'm looking for. And if you have it, I definitely need it ASAP. Like, right now. If y'all been paying attention to both pages, can you screenshot both pages? But hey, it's in. We're going to discuss it. We're going to read it. We're going to talk about it. You know, it is what it is. Shout out the dude over there that's out there spreading, once again, false propaganda. But it's okay. You know, I don't got to chase a lie. Spreading false propaganda. Okay. Well, this deadbeat dad ain't going to get off course. This deadbeat, as they say over there. I told you we on a motion watch. So, what happened today so far? Ann Donnelly granted Jennifer Bogine order motion 280 for leave to file access pages as to Robert Sylvester Kelly, ordered by Judge Ann M. Donnelly on 4/4/2022. So Ms. Bogine hey Denise, so Ms. Bogine was granted the motion to leave to have access pages put in. Lord have mercy. I just feel like that's going to be a lot of reading. I feel like I need to brace myself. I feel like I need to get some caffeine in my system, because when that drop, I'm going to, oh my God. Oh Jesus. I just know I'm going to be reading. That sound like I'm going to be reading for days. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. How many people I got in here? 62? Come on, we got to get some more folks in here. How many likes do I have? Let's see. So, the government is responding. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hello? I'm back. I said hello. Hello? 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 Have you been here anymore? Jams in the building. My bro. Jams, just let me know. Man, oh, and I seen your message, but I went back and looked at the replay. And I seen what you said. Yo, I got to come over there and spin for you one time. Man, look, let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. But what I was saying was, Jennifer Bogine put in the first motion for 279, right? To continue sentencing by Robert, right? And in that motion, I believe that was the motion to put the trial back, push the trial back. So the government came out today with their bull crap. Let's see what they talk about. United States versus Robert Sylvester Kelly, criminal docket 19-286, S3 AMD, Dear Judge Donnelly. And here it is. So I don't need Pacer no more until I want to look back into it later today. No, don't keep me locked down. Okay, there it is. All right. So, Dear Judge Donnelly, the government respectfully submits this letter to strenuously oppose the defendant's March 29th, 2022 motion to adjourn the sentencing in the above captioned matter. See ECF number 279, Def MOT. The defendant, Robert Kelly, is certainly scheduled to be sentenced on May the 4th, 2022 at 10 a.m. The court set the sentencing date on September the 27th, 2021. The date the jury found the defendant guilty on all counts. The defendant's current counsel, Ms. Jennifer Bogine, entered her notice of appearance approximately 1 month later, on October 29th, 2021. In her motion, defense counsel seeks an adjournment of the sentencing until a date after the defendant's trial in the Northern District of Illinois, NDIL, which is currently scheduled to commence on August the 1st, 2022, primarily because she claims she cannot otherwise adequately protect Mr. Kelly's constitutional rights at sentencing in this case without compromising his Fifth Amendment rights in the NDIL case. Def Mote at 1. Even assuming Argendo that is so, there are other ways to effectively address defense counsel's stated concern that she cannot advise Mr. Kelly to be examined or interviewed by a mitigation expert for sentencing in this case if his words might be used against him in some manner in his pending NDIL trial. As initial matter, given that the defendant has essentially challenged every aspect of his conviction, as set forth in his post-trial motions, and likely also intends to appeal his conviction should his post-trial motions prove unsuccessful. It's strange cruelty that the defendant would say anything to a potential mitigation expert that would incriminate him in the NDIL matter. To the extent the defendant intends to appropriately highlights his own background and characteristics as Section 3553A factors the court should consider at sentencing as mitigation. He can do so, and surely intends to do so, without admitting his guilt given his likely appeal. In addition, this speculative concern can be entirely abrogated, by adopting the following procedure. To the extent the defendant engages a mitigation expert, the court can permit defense counsel to file a mitigation report or relevant portions of it under seal. The undersigned assistant United States attorneys, who constitute a separate prosecution team from those prosecuting the NDIL case, will not share any such mitigation report with anyone involved in the NDIL prosecution, and to the extent there is any concern in this regard, would welcome a court order further prohibiting any such disclosure. Such a procedure would entirely eliminate any risk that the defendant's words might be used against him in some manner in his pending NDIL trial, and thus obviate the defendant's purported need for a sentencing adjournment. Nor is it accurate to suggest that there is no prejudice from adjourning the defendant's sentencing. Def Mot at 2. Under the Crime Victims' Rights Act, the defendant's victims have both the right to be reasonably heard at any public proceeding in the district court involving sentencing and the right to proceedings free from unreasonable delay. 18 U.S.C. 3771A4 and A7. As proven at trial, the defendant engaged in wide-ranging and extensive criminal conduct involving multiple victims with impunity for decades. His victims have waited years to see the defendant held to account and sentenced for his crimes. Moreover, in reliance on the date set by the court in September 2021, many victims have cleared their schedules to travel from other states to New York to attend and be heard at the May 4th, 2022 sentencing hearing. Delaying the defendant's sentencing until after his NDIL trial, which will presumably last several weeks, is not reasonable in the circumstances, particularly where, as here, the above described procedure will alleviate defense counsel's purported constitutional concern. In addition, as the court is aware, the defendant is currently housed in Brooklyn, New York, while awaiting sentencing. The United States Marshals will need to arrange for his in-custody transfer to NDIL prior to his trial there. Delaying his sentencing until after his NDIL trial is inefficient and will result in needless expense and delay by requiring his transfer back to this district for sentencing after the NDIL trial, and then back again to NDIL for sentencing there. Finally, defense counsel's other professional obligations are not a basis to adjourn the sentencing hearing, which has been on the calendar since September 27, 2021. Defense counsel was aware of the sentencing date when she entered a notice of appearance. Indeed, the same alleged concern would apply in the event the defendant were to be granted a new trial after appeal. Given that the same purported concern would exist even after the NDIL trial, the existence of the NDIL trial cannot serve as a valid basis to delay the defendant's sentencing. In this case, and when she later decide to become the defendant's counsel in the NDIL case, like all lawyers who appear before this court, defense counsel handles more than one matter at a time, which is the norm for experienced litigators. As an experienced attorney, defense counsel is undoubtedly capable of meeting her professional obligations in this case and her other cases. Respectfully submitted, Breon Peace, United States Attorney. I got some issues with this. In other words, the government is saying to Ann Donnelly, come on now. Y'all can trust us. Y'all can trust us to not break the law. Well, my question is, how can you be trusted when you broke the law in the first place? You have jurors that was complicit. So how can Mr. Kelly trust y'all when y'all already broke the law? Second thing you said was, let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Second law that you said that I guess you want people to trust y'all. But how? When, let's keep it real, you can't even trust a judge. I thought the jurors were sequestered. So how did they become unsequestered on the day of deliberation? Make that make sense. A sequestered jury stays sequestered through and through. So now they were sequestered, they was unsequestered, Then when the verdict come out, now they sequestered again because haven't nobody heard from none of the jurors. Let's make this make sense. So at the end of the day, y'all can't be trusted. So why would Robert trust y'all to go forward knowing that it's a squeeze there and everything y'all trying to do is going to be shipped to Chicago? Third thing you said was, and I want to make sure your words are right. So you said, as proven at trial, the defendant engaged in wide-ranging and extensive criminal conduct. Stop. I was at trial. Everybody said they didn't want to be there. Everybody said they didn't want to see Robert locked up or nothing except for one man. Everybody said they still love Robert, including Geronda Pace. So let's talk about crimes. What crime was committed? That man didn't want to be with a female anymore. That man in a relationship and arguing. That man in a relationship, I mean, let's keep it real. Some relationships fight and they still together. So was that a crime? Let's outline some sugar honey iced tea. Let's do this the right way. You said, moreover, in reliance on the date set by the court in September 2021. Yes. It was set then, but she just got on the case. And she had to look through the case and see what was going on. Y'all overused the RICO Act. Let's keep it real. Where's any of the white people for the Mann Act? Because that's what it's for. It's not just for, any female. No, it was specifically, dominantly for white females. So where's the white females? Then you said it'll cost money to transfer him back and forth. But why y'all didn't say that when y'all brought him for a status hearing, then took him back to Chicago and then brought him back to New York? Make that make sense. Y'all ain't say that then. But now y'all saying it? Because y'all got what y'all wanted at first, which was a bullcrap, bogus conviction. Then one thing you said that really stuck out to me, and I'm trying to find it because I wanna say it the way y'all said it. I want to say it the way y'all said it. You said, as proven at trial, the defendant engaged in wide-ranging and extensive criminal conduct involving multiple victims, which impunity for decades. His victims have waited years. That's it. His victims have waited years to see the defendant held to account and sentenced for his crimes. That's not what they said. That's not what none of them said. That's what y'all saying. Now, I don't know why people overlooking this, but Azriel did say that y'all made her come and y'all trumped up most of the stuff that y'all said about him. About her against him. She did say y'all trumped that up in court. And she pretty much threw y'all under the bus when she said, I didn't say certain things to y'all. Y'all implied that. But nobody's talking about that. Even on the opposing side, they won't talk about that. They'll say, maybe that's something that she just said on the stand. No, and you can't just bypass that. Because that's a serious part. And the serious part to that is the government trumped up stuff and made it seem like it was more to what Azriel was saying. And if they did that to Azriel, Lord behold what they did to everybody else. So you mean to tell me, Miss Shahada, and you talking about that's being prosecuted by a whole nother team. Well, how in the hell is you on both teams then? Because you clearly was on the Chicago team too. So that's the same team. Same office. right next to the courthouse in Brooklyn, New York. So, y'all saying that, oh, these victims can't wait to come back. How do you know that? Because in court, they were saying and y'all were saying that it's traumatizing to be in the setting. So they go from being traumatized to being in the setting to now, oh, I can't wait to go back to the setting. Man, come on, man. Stop. When people suffers trauma, they ain't trying to go back. They want to avoid trauma at all costs. I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong. That's why I could never understand Geronda. And people say, oh, you don't understand. She's a victim. She's this. She jumps over the gate, runs down the street to get some shoes, then comes back and lay in the bed for the victim to come off to her and victimize her again. Azriel was a victim. But when she lied to him and finally came and told him the truth, and she said he slapped her and sent her back, she was such a victim that her parents emancipated her, signed her over, got all of the school stuff and everything, and sent her back, and he paid for her school. But as we finally learned last Thursday, that she'd been working on an album since 2018, but she was a victim. She was held hostage. She couldn't go nowhere. She had to look down. She couldn't look at no other guys. Well, how did you record with 18-year-old? How did you record with other producers? How did you get locked in to record your albums? And as we know, you got jealous of Joy because each one of y'all had to do 6 months apiece. So you didn't want to be taken off the visitor list because you didn't want Joy to know what you was purporting to Robert to get Joy out the way so you can be main person. But you're a victim. Okay. The other young lady that said that Rob, you used to take advantage of her and she caught the bus and all that. But you were caught lying, saying that Rob took you and put you in a car and had sex in the car in front of everybody and made you suck everybody off. Well, that turned out to be a lie in court. But because it fit the narrative, he was found guilty of that charge. Then the government say he was found guilty on all charges. Well, I'm lost. Because they said all but one. But the government is saying all charges. So wait a minute. And Donnelly is saying all but one because that's what a juror said. But y'all are saying all charges. Which one was it? All but one or all? Now, that's a key that I want to show y'all. Do we believe what's in the paperwork or do we believe what was said at court? So if you're telling me that the paperwork is Bible, so everything that happened in court is bullcrap then. I'm just saying. Ern in the building. What's up, Ern? Yo, you got to call me, little bro. And Miss Lady T let you out? So I'm just saying. Let's make this make sense. When I mean by they playing with you in your face, this is the type of stuff they playing with you with. So now, and Donnelly got to make a decision. Bojine ain't playing. They come back with a weak response. That response is bullcrap. Trash. But wait a minute. You try to use the Constitution. Now, for all of y'all that know, persons the Constitution don't apply to. Why? Because the Constitution only apply to human beings, to I the man or I the woman, not a person. The person is a paper corporate fiction that's created by the state and the government. So how can you cite the Constitution when it comes to Robert Kelly when he's a man of flesh and blood? You're trying to cite Constitution, but you violated his constitutional rights. So if you're going to violate one, why not violate all? I do believe y'all merge R. Kelly and Robert Sylvester Kelly as the same person, right? Which is impossible to do. So if that's the case, how can you be public and private? How can you be a paper fiction and a corporate fiction as well as a human being? You can't. Y'all think I'm joking? No way possible. No way possible. That's just like me going to court in a kangaroo court and they talk about Mr. daintezjackson, please rise. I don't know if that's my real name. I was given that. And because everybody called me that, I just answered to it. But what I mean by it's imperative for people to reclaim their birthrights, when people go through stuff like this, a lawyer is only a person that argues in the court. And in this case, you see the government never referred to themselves as a lawyer. Strategy. They refer to themselves as a litigator. That means I can stand as a person and as a paper fiction. So when you attack that, you got to attack both entities. And the only way you can attack both entities is one, if you come in as a litigator. Or if you come in as I a man or I a woman. And like I say, the first thing they check, they want to know if you got one of these. They want to know if you got one of these. They want to know if you got one of these. If you don't have one of them, you SOL. If you don't have one of these, you SOL. So when you hear people on that platform talk about, oh, he don't pay child support, he don't go, you damn sure I don't. I am not going through a company when I take care of my stuff directly. Oh, he can get locked up. Now you got to prove that I'm not willing to pay anything. Impossible. Second of all, you got to prove where I live. You, a man, lives in your body. Where do you reside at? I reside wherever I sleep at that night. The name lives at my home address where the home is at. Today, I just need to do work, so I brought it with me to the office. Actually, I got my whole file here at the office. Oh, you don't do that. For people who don't know, you pay your main bills with this. You pay your main bills with this. It's a 1099-C. This is what I mean when I say people are so stuck in the matrix to the point where they believe anything. And like this R. Kelly letter that I read today, this defense, they don't know what to say. They backed into whatever. So they just telling how they feel. Like, look, we feel as though that you shouldn't do this. That's not enough. That right there is not enough. Now the roles have reversed. It's like the onslaught of the government versus Greenberg. Because that's who was doing the motions at first. It's some stuff I can say, but I'm not going to say it. But Greenberg was the one that was doing all the motions at first. It's like the roles have reversed. Now Bojing has turned into the juggernaut, and the government is just like, they turned into Greenberg. We just going to put out what sound good. Make that make sense. The question of the day is, what crimes did Robert Sylvester Kelly commit? Where's the Mann Act? Where did he coerce anybody? Where did he bring anybody across state line? And then I gotta say this. Anybody that think that child support is for your child, you are the stupidest person on earth. And if you will challenge me, and I don't care who it is, if you come and challenge me and say, Dana, show me anything that says child support is not for the child, I will sit you down. I will give you a tutorial on this channel. And the only thing I will say is, get out of the matrix. That's why when I sit back and hear people talking about, oh no, he gave away his rights. Stop. I had a lawyer. I didn't show up to court that day because I was told, oh no, Dana, you didn't have to show up to court. Screw job of DanaJay. So now I done went and turned all that around. And once again, me and all my kids are good. Is me and their moms good? We on speaking terms. I can never say I'm 100% with anybody that I left. But I can 100%ly say I can get anybody back that I left. Facts. Even if they mad, they still know where home is. The fact is, home don't want it back. So when I hear little things, I sit back, I say, okay, this is what's going on. Okay, fine, okay. So now that this is going on, I'm going to respond like this. No response. But I said child support is an agency. That's why they ask you to fill out an application, because it has to be approved. Facts. Child support is a propaganda tool against I, the man. Make it make sense. Real women ain't dealing with child support. Greedy women are dealing with child support, or women that feel as though they can't do it by themselves, or they can't do it, which, and let me correct that, which they shouldn't have to do it by themselves. But when you have greedy women who, oh, I want to do what I want to do, and I just want you to sit here and take it. And when the guy say, no, I'm out. Oh, and I'm going to child support then. Why? I'll take care of my kid in private. I just don't want to see you. I just don't want to give it to you no more. Why can't it be a protector for men? Honestly, let's be real. Some men scared to deal with women. Let's keep it a buck. And when I say deal with women, they're scared to deal with their baby mamas because they met the representative. But then when they got to meet the person, it scared the hell out of them. That's not what they want to be attached to, but it's too late because now you got a little one. So here's the case. Do you take care of the child or do you take care of your offspring? It's a difference. My offspring will never bear name of a child. How can you tell me I'm an obligor? How can you tell me that my offspring's mom is an obligee? I didn't have sex with an obligee. I had sex with a person. West Coast Bell said, in Las Vegas during a divorce, a child support order is the law. Watch this. I can prove to you that a child support order is not law. It's not law. But parents, it's a law. For parents, it's a law. For moms and dads, it don't apply to them. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on. Watch this. I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on. Come on, where you at? You're hiding. I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on. Telegram jumping today. Here you go. Bang, bang, bang. I'll pull this over here. And I'll pull this right here. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you. There you go. Check this out. I'm gonna bring this over a little bit. Let's see if that's enough for you. Bring this over a little more. Bring it over a little more. There we go. All right. So, here's what I'm trying to show y'all. When you're a man or a woman living in flesh and blood, your name is different. It's proper pronunciation. First letter, capitalized. Everything lowercase. A person, everything capitalized. Our man is created by the divine, which is whoever the Christ or the God or whatever you believe in. A person created by the state. I wasn't created by the state. Our man, living, breathing, being. A person, a dead entity, which is nothing but your birth certificate, social security number. Our man, under divine law. That's that's the law, which is the Constitution. That's what you serve, which is the law of the land. A person, which child support falls under, is under codes and acts. So when Robert got locked up on a child support order, he went in as a person and not as a man. Right here, divine jurisdiction, which means the jurisdiction of Jesus Christ or whatever the God that you serve. What up, Brooke? A person is under the jurisdiction of the government, which child support is a Title 4D, Title 4A, third-party debt collector. Here's my next question. How can you pay a debt with a debt? Can somebody explain it? How can you pay a debt with a debt? Then you go, a man is a free person. A man is a free entity. I'm sorry. A person is a 14th Amendment slave. You see it. Because you're bound by the codes and ethics of the 14th Amendment. A man is bound by all of the amendments, not just one. Also, you live in private as a man. That's why you don't have a social security number. When you go to I as a man, you have an EIN number. That's why your new QSEP number is not the one on your birth certificate, but is the QSEP number that's generated from your COB and your state deliverance paper and the White House government deliverance paper. And they add all three of them together and they give you a whole new QSEP number, which I have. I showed y'all the paperwork. Here, the person lives in public. A man is nonfiction. A person is a fictional person. A man guided by the spirit. The person is possessed by the entity. If you think I'm lying, I got the jurisdictions right next to it. Private lawful, de jure. Statutes, acts, and codes, public, legal, de facto. It's a difference. Common law is the law of the land. Statutes, legal is the law of the sea. That's why if you operate under your social security number and your birth certificate, you're called civic divus, which means dead at sea, which is you go by the law of the sea. But when you were born on land. So you go by the law of the land, which is natural law, trial by jury, people's law, charters of liberty, Magna Carta 1215, petition of right 1627, habeas corpus 1640, Bill of Rights 1688. What is a Bill of Rights? What I just showed you, a 1099C and a 1099A. Habeas corpus, what is that? That's the paperwork that Don Russell got to buy his bond. The petition of right, that's what we're supposed to use before we even go into the courts. The only courts we can't use the petition of right in, and I thought somebody was going to get it. But I'm going to tell y'all what are the 3 real prosecuting courts that carries all over the world. Some of y'all had 2 of the 3. Some of y'all came close. I just wasn't going to give it to y'all. But today I'm going to give it to y'all since nobody got it. And then I'm going to come back and ask you again. Because I feel as though that y'all need to know this very soon. Especially with them trying to create humans without humans. But they're trying to create a man and humans without humans. So, law of the sea, admiralty, maritime, commercial law, UCC, uniform commercial law, law merchant, contract law, king's law, Roman Canaan law, ecclesiastical law. And you got to know all that. And if you are registered in UCC law, which I am, if you are registered in contract law, which I'm totally not, if you are registered in King's law, which I'm totally not, if you're familiar with Romans Canaan law, which I totally kicks their ass in, which you are partaking in ecclesiastical law, which I do not. Now do you understand? Because A lot of people do not understand what the hell is going on. And West Coast Bells, I would love to talk to you off record. Whatever person that you know, switch them over to I a man or I a woman. And then destroy Las Vegas courts. I guarantee you. I can send you some paperwork and you'll be like, whoa, this powerful. And the first thing that their lawyers are going to say, because you do know that lower level courts are not judges. Just because you have on a black robe don't mean you're a judge. And the way you know real judges is by the seal and the flag. So let's skip down to statutory law, okay? Statutory law is in public legal, and they determine what is legal or illegal. Statutory law. Common law deals with what is right or wrong. See what I'm saying? Superior court deals with this. What is right or what is wrong. District court deals with what is right or what is wrong. Magistrate court deal with what is legal or illegal. You see the difference? Common law. Only common law upholds justice. Victims are due fair compensation, redress, restoration, and restitution. Okay. Over here in public, crime can exist without a victim. Debts must be paid for violations and sins. Punishment, sentence, or sentence, penitentiary. You see the difference now? Skip down one. Statutes are given the force of law by the consent of the governed. Common laws apply equally to all of the people, being created equally. Let's skip down one more. Under common law, man or woman. I told you that. I a man, I a woman. People, natural man or woman, John, semicolon, doe, capitis demuto, minima, equals rights taken minimum. So if you do something wrong, you can only get the minimum in common law. Sui juris, that's what you go under, not pro se. Sui juris equals own master, not under legal disability. Mankind equals man or woman. You go over corporation, persons, artificial person, John Doe, all caps name, capitis demuto maxima equals rights taken maximum. Obligado, here you go, obligado, which means bonded, pledged, being legally liable. Government equals corporation or church. So here's my question. How are you going to take me, which I am a man or a woman, you know what I'm saying? That's what it states. When you are either a man or I a woman, how are you going to take me and force me to be a corporation and force me to live under corporation rules? I'll tell you how. Easy. They will get your mother, and when you go into the hospital, they won't give her no medication. They'll make sure she's in a lot of pain. They will ask her to fill out a stack of papers. The first stack is just saying, do you agree? Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. But when you get to that middle and go down, it all talks about giving away your rights to your offspring, which turns your offspring into what? A person. That's why it take you 2 weeks to get a birth certificate. Because for one, you ain't signing for a birth certificate. You signing for a certificate of live birth. But they flip it because the certificate of live birth is a bond. They flip it and trade on Wall Street. Then they give you the birth certificate and say, oh, this is what you signed for. And then they give you a social security number. But if you flip the back of that social security card, it clearly says this card do not belong to you. So if the social security number is mine, as they want you to believe, why on your own card it say it don't belong to me? So what the hell is really going on? The only thing that belongs to you is your QSEP number from your EIN and your QSEP number from when you reclaim your birthright. When you reclaim your birthright and you do it right, you're going to become a marked man or a marked woman. Because now you go from public to private. That means you costing them funds. At that point, you stop everything trading on you. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to start my live off with showing you about the trading secret. This is the secret that nobody wants you to know. I'm going to do the website. I'm going to show it to you in real time. How many people are trading on you? This is how the United States is the most open, free country. Just picture everybody, the millions and millions of people who are being traded on, and they happy to get their birth certificate and their social security card. And both of them tell you that it's not yours. That part right there, Prima. So by making the witnesses Jane Does, what did that mean? They are property of the government. I keep telling y'all, this is not what y'all think it is. This is an orchestrated government hit. And I'm going to tell you why. With the new currency coming in, I'm going to go there because a lot of people don't know about it. So let me pull it up for y'all. With the new currency coming in, right? With the new currency coming in, all the old currency switches over. That means you really don't know what's going to happen because they didn't tell a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know. So with people not knowing, it's like, what's going on? What's going to happen? Right now, most people are sitting back saying, well, I can't wait. But then when they see stuff that's holding up, it's like, what do I do? I didn't get paid this week. Of course you didn't. Why should you? And I just had this conversation yesterday. And when people like, oh, I supposed to get my stimulus money. Yo, do you realize that what you think is owed to you is not yours? First of all, I keep telling everybody, fiat money, because there is no money. Fiat money is what? Nothing but what? Fiat money. So if you know what fiat money means, that means not real. So if your money is not real, what is it? If you really want to know, it's only given value because we give it value. Our voice give it value. And what I'm doing is I'm about to show you something that's going to bust your head open. I'm going to be honest with you. It should scare you. And if it don't scare you, something wrong. If this don't scare you, something is wrong. Because now it's going to put you in a place where, what do I do next? I'm just going to show you a little bit of it. I'm not going to show you everything. Because I'm not trying to put nobody in a fear factor like that. I'm not trying to do that. So, here's the paperwork from transferring old money over, right? And you see where it's a translation from Ukrainian, right? That's where all of your funds is being held in Ukraine. I'm showing you the paperwork. I got it. So if you want it, I send it to you. Only one person asked for it. I sent it over. And you see the proof. It needs 2 signatures. Check it. I want you to read. Signed for and by the State Institution, Center for Public Health, and the Ministry of Health of Ukraine, CPP. The China Party. By the Director General of Vladimir Korupta. So, for money to be transferred over, why do it got to be signed off like this? By the health agency. I'm going to tell you why. This is what it's looked like in Ukrainian. I told you I have all the paperwork. In Ukrainian. Prima said, yes, that's usually how I send them. Oh, you're talking about the cakes. Okay. So, here we go. Government agency. Center for Public Health of the Ministry of Health of Ukraine. But that CPP stands for something else too. Check it. Here's everything. In Australia. Look. Check it. In order for the United States to get y'all real deposits, look what you gotta send. Human blood. Serum. What do they take when you go to the doctors? Human blood. Serum. Where do it go? They never told y'all. But now you're seeing it for yourself. The CCP is China Communist Party, but the CPP is the Center for Public Health. But check it. So every time you go to the doctors, that's why they need your social security number. So that way they can keep your secret account active. Full description of the property. Human blood, serum. Quantity, 1. Mass, 2 kg. Unit value, United States dollars, $10. You see what I'm saying? So, here it is in Ukrainian. When I tell you I have every form and everything that's going on, I have it. Check it. And you can see at the top, translated. Here's a transfer agreement. Look at the recipient for one person. That's everybody that's trading on that one person. Check it. Why is the species called fleas? Species of bat, fleas. Type of parasite. This is everything that they giving to humans. But you got to pay for it. And you got to show your blood. Here going Ukraine. I'm not going to front you. Prima, I've been telling people about the Ukraine joint. Now watch this. Y'all see I titled it New American Money, right? It's a reason for that. Pay attention to what it looked like.
Hágale. Listo. Listo. Bueno, listo. Bueno. Ajá. Bueno, listo, pues. Bueno. Bueno.
I don't know if y'all caught it. This is Ukrainian. They in Ukraine. Why do Ukrainians have American money first? That's where you got to go. But you can't go because your secret account is in the Rothschilds deposit called the Federal Reserve Bank. I'm going to let y'all hear it again. Listen to the language.
Bueno, listo. Listo. Hágale. Listo. Listo. Bueno, listo. Bueno. Ajá. Bueno, listo, pues. Bueno. Bueno.
Now, what I just showed you is something new. There's no $20 bill. There's a $30 bill. I'm going to play it again. Check it. Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. There is a 20. There is a 20. I'm sorry. Okay, and the 50 have a 30 on the back. I get it now. Okay. That's my fault. I stand corrected. Because there's the $100 bill up top, and there's the 20 underneath. So the 20 have JFK, the $5 have Statue of Liberty, the $50, I don't know who that is. The $1 is George Washington. The $10, I don't know who that is. And a $100 bill, I don't know who that is. That's JFK with an astronaut on the back. That got the $5 got Abe Lincoln on the back. Bingo. I want y'all to peep something. What is that on the back of the $10 bill? Let's educate over here. What is that on the back of the $10 bill? I do believe I need somebody to Google Mar-a-Lago. I need somebody to Google Mar-a-Lago. And then Google White House, D.C. Why is Mar-a-Lago on the back of the new $10 bill? See, here we go. JJ. Yeah.
You got when you get paid again?
Why? What's going on?
So I'm going to ask you to send me money for my nails.
How much you need for your nail?
Mommy.
Nah, I mean, and just text me the price you need. You already know I got you. Stop.
Okay.
How you doing in school?
Good.
Is your room clean?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all you need is just money for your nails?
Nails and my eyebrows.
Okay. Why'd you let me know how much it is? I got you. You already know. And send me a picture of your hair too.
Okay.
Hell yeah. What'd you eat for dinner?
Lunchables.
You are one not eating female. Why? Can we start eating some plant-based chicken?
No.
Not fried chicken.
No.
Plant-based chicken.
No.
Why?
But I said that.
Because you said so.
Yeah.
Negro, I'm going to force you to eat.
Oh.
He said, nope. Love ya. I'm going to call you back.
All right, love you too.
All right. Yeah, I keep forgetting I'm a deadbeat dad. I don't take care of my kids, but hey, you know, it is what it is. So, why is Mar-a-Lago on the back of the $10 bill? And why the flag is not the United States flag, but the flag of the Republic? Let's finish.
I got it.
That's the seal of the Republic. Pay attention. And look who's on the. What is that? That's the $1 bill with the half seal of the Republic. See, this the half seal. This the golden eagle carrying a leaf and a Republic hinge right there. Let's finish. I don't know who that is on the 50. Now pay attention. You see the United States flag is wrinkled right there, right? What are flag rules? A flag must never be wrinkled, right? Midas, turn your head. This right here is curved. Or you said with no pillars. Is that the back side of Mar-a-Lago or the front side? Because you know the new White House is Mar-a-Lago. See, and that's why I love it over here, because we have real researchers and real thinkers. I could be wrong. And I believe this is the Liberty Bell on a $100 bill. So that's the new American money. I don't know if y'all looked at me on Rumble. Hold on, I'm gonna go to Rumble real quick, because I'm about to show y'all something. Mama in the treetop all day long. I'm singing that song. Hold on, back out. Rumble. Rumble. Birthrights. Ah, there we go.
Because the word or these credit repair people, I was in college. No, again. And so I didn't just want to.
Licensing our right to travel against the verified good faith in the fifth was 12 USC 411. Our vague debt.
And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. A large man.
But then everybody wonder, oh, how Dana pay his stuff?
Check this out.
How Dana do his stuff? How Dana do this? And you see the idiots on the internet talking about something. Oh, Dana, he did this, he did that, he did that. Don't worry about how I pay my stuff. You're not where I'm at. You're not me. So check it. Real quick, because I know your attention span is kind of low. Because mine be like that too. But look, House Joint Resolution 192 and Congressional Intent by Ms. Vaughn writes, and she aced it. I've been asked to comment on HJR 192 and the whole subject of congressional intent. A joint resolution is like a New Year's resolution. It has no force of law, but it does clearly express the intent of a congressional body. Which congressional body is expressing their intent in HJR 192? It's the territorial United States Congress acting in the wake of FDR declaring the United States of America, Inc. insolvent. And they are attempting
Thank you, Lord TT.
to meet their obligations owed under the Hague Conventions by saying, oh, yes, if anyone wants to, they can reclaim their reversionary trust interest, which is the secret account that me and Vi been telling you about, in the actual United States as remedy for us taking title to their assets and using their assets as collateral backing our debts, which means your social security number and your and your certificate of live birth. That's why they give you a social security number, and that's why they give you a birth certificate. So once you give birth in a hospital and you sign that affidavit packet signing over your offspring, it takes 2 weeks for you to get a birth certificate. And the reason why it takes 2 weeks for you to get a birth certificate is the fact of this. They have to give you a number. They have to monetize it. They have to put it on Wall Street. And they have to make a first trade, which all happens in 11 days. You get your birth certificate back in about 6 days. Once you get it back that quick, they already have a QSIP number for you, and they already started trading. So, where was that? It says, and they are attempting to meet their obligation owed under the Hague Conventions by saying, oh, yes, if anyone wants to, they can reclaim their reversionary trust interests in the actual United States as remedy for us taking title to their assets and using their assets as collateral backing our debts. What they are doing is, to put it bluntly, expressing their intention to provide remedy and thereby legalize their crime. The rats had to provide remedy in the form of an escape clause or go to jail and have no ability to enforce their claims. This is how they claimed and continue to claim that we are all paying federal income taxes voluntarily and paying off their mortgages taken against our property voluntarily and licensing our right to travel voluntarily and subjecting ourselves to their statutory codes and rules voluntarily, when we all know that none of this has ever been fully disclosed to the American people, is unconscionable, unconsensual, and enforced under color of law. But it was, and it still is. And it is only now, 20 years after the 1933 bankruptcy settled, that people are waking up and beginning to realize that, one, HJR 192 exists, and two, why it exists, and three, what to do in response to the circumstance. What is perhaps more important is that people are beginning to wonder, what the hell? Why is the territorial government in charge here? As if we were all a bunch of Puerto Ricans. The short answer to that is that they absurd upon our lawful government back in 1868 and have been staging a military occupation of our country using our own troops to do it, under the pretense that we are too disorganized to manage our own affairs. And so they are engaged in this outrageous breach of trust for our own good until we construct our government, which is going on right now. And we, meanwhile, have been kept dumbed down and deliberately uninformed and unaware that any such thing needs to be done. When a foreign army, the territorial United States forces, are foreign with respect to us, even though they are under contract to serve us, get their pay from us, and are largely staffed by our sons and daughters, occupies another country, ours. They are required under international law to respect the property rights of the civilian population. If they do commander private property for the use of the occupying armed forces, they have to provide just and equitable compensation to the owner. If they don't, they are guilty of illegal taking and acts of plundering and pillaging. Under military law, these acts are subject to severe punishment, up to and including death by firing squad. So getting back to HJR 192, this was the Territorial Congress's deceitful scheme to avoid the accusation that they were involved in illegal taking, the pillaging and plundering of this entire country and its people, their allowance that we could, if we so choose, exercise our natural exemption from their jurisdiction, so could also invoke our reversionary trust interests and our own birthright inheritance and assets and take them all back. Allow them to claim that if we fail to do so, then obviously we were going along with their scheme and voluntarily donating our assets to them. This is why the IRS processes all your tax payments as gift and estate taxes. Uh-oh. This is why the IRS processes all of your tax payments as gift and estate taxes. Dumbass Dabowski, I thought you knew some shit. The obvious fault with this is that nobody ever told us a word about it. The American people were not notified. No explanation vaguely approaching full disclosure was ever offered. No administrative process clearly telling anyone how they could invoke their reversionary trust interest was ever provided. There are vague and dubious references to mutual offset credit exchanges, suggesting that somewhere, somehow, one could exchange a debt owed to the federales for a debt owed by the federales, a sort of no money exchanges hands settlement of mutual claims, but that's about it. Even the eventual enactment of HJR 192, which I think offhand was 12 USC 411, was all but void for vagueness and all just an excuse to legalize illegal taking, non-consensual hypotheticon of debt, and other commercial crimes in violation of international law. These are similar underlying deliberate acts of non-disclosure and fraudulent, unconscionable mischaracterization of illegal takings as voluntarily gifts is at the heart of our complaint against the territorial United States and the Queen and the entire system they perpetrated for their own benefit beginning in 1868. A more loathsome and criminal breach of trust and contract can scarcely be imagined. And that is what HJR 192 is, top dressing and excuse for. This military is required by the Labor Code and Hague Conventions to provide all American civilians with equitable compensation for the military's use of their private property assets. This includes the use of your intellectual property, such as your name, your homes, your land, your labor, and any other assets they gloom onto as collateral securing their debts. To avoid that, the vermin have perpetrated a scheme by which you have all been deliberately and fraudulently and variously misidentified as government employees and dependents. What did I tell you? U.S. citizens, territorials, or citizens of the United States, municipals. Wow. Let me go ahead and say that again. To avoid that, the vermin have perpetrated a scheme by which you have all been deliberately and fraudulently and variously misidentified as government employees and dependents. U.S. citizens, which is territorials, or citizens of the United States, which is municipals, who are ineligible for such compensation. Wow. Who are ineligible for such compensation. So successful they have been at this national level identity theft scheme that any memory of HJR 192 and how this was supposed to work had long faded from view. When a few knotheads began researching these topics and exploring ways to claim their reversionary trust assets, because of all the obfuscation, hiding, how you could claim your reversionary trust interest, and also all the effort put into misidentifying you as a person ineligible to make such a claim, they made it all but impossible for anyone to claim their exemptions or demand equitable compensation. That situation is thankfully coming to an end as their scheme is being exposed to broad daylight. The vermin have tried to go bankrupt again to save their ill-gotten gains and avoid accountability. But we have claimed all their assets and the assets of their states as assets rightfully belonging to the states and people of this country. And we have issued indemnity bonds, and I'll show you mine, for each of the 50 states which the people can access. And an indemnity bond ensures people of their private property in the same way that insurance protects commercial entities. When you walk into a mortgage foreclosure case, for example, and lay down your authenticated BC records, which turns into cold, your deeds of reconveyance, removing your missing given trade name to a permanent domicile on the land and soil of whichever state of the union, your certificate and claim of the assumed names, and give the indemnity bond number we issue. That's an insurance claim against loss or damage owed to you under the Labor Code and Hague Conventions. It's also a clear claim to be an American civilian exercising revisionary trust rights and exemptions, not sovereign citizens, not U.S. citizens, not state citizens, but to be an American civilian exercising, aka an American national, aka an Indian national, aka a thoroughbred, exercising revisionary trust rights and exemptions. Those of you who have had your birth certificates authenticated by the United States Department of State have received another bond number that can be used for the same purpose in federal cases. It appears at the top of the yellow cover sheet and is the practical means of making a claim against the verified good faith and credit protections clearly stated on the same yellow cover sheet. That is their indemnity bond covering your vessel for federal purposes. The vermin have yet to bow to the inevitable, come clean, and provide the people of this country with a simple means and process of reclaiming their revisionary trust interests. And for claiming their exemption from statutory jurisdictions, they have yet to provide millions of innocent Americans with the protection from loss and damage that they are owed under international law. They have yet to deal with their own falsification of the public records as registrations. With enough people in America and throughout the world awake and moving forward, the end of this gross criminality is a foregone conclusion. Yep. Although the guilty parties and the bar associations, listen to me, although the guilty party and the bar associations are bucking it, and the clueless members of the bar are just waking up and realizing, oh my God, I've been committing crimes that could get me shot by a firing squad. We are beginning to get sporadic but growing numbers of reports that the state and federal courts are beginning to come to heel and honor these obligations and are beginning to accept the indemnity bonds and exemptions. Donald Trump, not Barack Obama, not nobody else, but Donald Trump has been leading the way by reforming the federal judiciary, redirecting the DOJ to provide service owed to the people of this country, and issuing pardons to Americans who have invoked their revisionary trust interests and claim exemptions that are owed to them, and who have been the victims of false prosecution and false illegal presumptions. Go forth and conquer, America. It may be almost a century late in coming, but your day is dawning. See this article and over 1,100 others on Anna's website here, www.annavonrich.com. Like I said, This is one of the biggest federal lawyers right here. I'm just saying. Do you like to be taken victim of? Do you like to be domiciled? Do you like to be played with? I'm just saying. You can't play with me and think I'm not going to come get mine. I guess that laid it all out for you. But hey, it's 9:39. So that's what Rumble looked like. But you know what I mean? That's what it is. You really learn a lot. You know what I mean? Certain things you really learn. And certain things you learn a lot, and that's what it is. So when people talk about, oh, the corporation is the corporation that, I'm not advocating, and I don't advocate for men who don't take care of their kids. I advocate for men who take care of their kids who don't need the system to tell them how much you give your child, how much you take care of your child, how to take care of your child. No. You take care of your child as you see fit. You make sure all of their needs are met and their wants, even though wants are optional, you go ahead and take care of their wants. Because if you don't, somebody else will. So why not be the parent that the good old government wants you to do and run down there to them and say, hey, I would open a child support case. Or be a man or woman or a mother or father and take care of your offspring the way you're supposed to. But a child support tell Joseph to take care of Jesus? Don't start that. Don't ask those questions. Don't present those synopsises. No problem, Lord TT. I'm just saying. I'm giving you ways that you can look at whatever it is. Do what's best for you. But going to a court and presenting an argument, that's the only way you can have a court case. Where there's no argument, there's no case. Now, here's what I'm not understanding. Since we know all that, right? They said R. Kelly settled with most of his AKA alleged victims, right? So why is he doing time in jail? That's double jeopardy. Because the fact is, where there's a resolution, there cannot be a case. And you can't retry a case where there was a resolution. Learn the Constitution. I'm just telling you what comes to fact. But look at my body.
Yeah, what's up? This your homeboy Ice Cube. You know what it is, the West Coast Warlord, the Grand Wizard. Don Mega is in the house. Now check this out. I'm inviting you to join the official Black People Social Network. WeGotUps.com. That's WeGotUps.com. 100% black owned, man. I see you here, boys. I see you. You out there doing it, man. And as we say in the Big Three League, we got ups, baby. So WeGotUps.com. Check it out, man. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, black people, we definitely need to socialize, get together, figure out this system we all going through. So, you know, WeGotUps.com promises to be that place. Like I said, black owned. Gotta love it. And, you know, willing to make sure that you guys make a social connection. So WeGotUps.com, you know, from your homeboy Ice Cube. Got to throw up the dub, you know, for that. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, official Black People Social Network. You know, I get it right. Don't worry about nothing. Just join, man. Join the official Black People Social Network. WeGotUps.com. WEGOTUPS.com, man. That's easy, man. We got ups, baby. We got ups. Your homeboy Ice Cube, and I'm out. Throwing up the dub for We Got Ups, man. Check it out.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama said I wanna take her. Dipping your pool. Just go for a little dive, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.